Hey guys, Joey here. So, as I sit here and continue to mull over everything, I realize there's one series that I kind of forgot about. Pokemon Investigations. You know, my two-part series where I look at a Pokemon's origins in terms of both design and lore, and then turn them into a Fire Emblem unit? I really need to stay on top of my shit. But hey, it's fine. It's not like this is my job or YouTube is paying me anymore. You know, not like the $4 is really gonna change anything anyway. Anywho, what's on the table today? Why, it's none other than the star of my favorite Pokemon movie growing up, Lucario, alongside his little mewling Riolu. Lucario may have taken Mewtwo's spot in Brawl despite not being similar in terms of origin, but then, where exactly did Lucario spawn from? Let's take a look. Before we dive into Lucario, let's look at this little guy, Riolu. Before we go into its origins, allow me to say that out of all the baby Pokemon, this one is the most useful due to a useful gimmick in Roar plus Copycat to keep the opponent rolling in hazards due to Prankster. So long as they don't have a priority move, like Fake Out, or Quick Attack. A lot could break the little guy, but hey, it's a pretty damn neat gimmick. Anyway, one simple look at Riolu give off a dog look, and that's easy to extend to say Riolu is based on Anubis. But considering Anubis is a god that ushers souls into the afterlife and Riolu is, well, a baby, I refuse to give Riolu that role. Looking at Riolu's face, I could say he looks like a raccoon, due to the similar small pointed ears and the mask face design. That's about as similar as those two animals get, though, as aside from one interesting trait and behavior, they're pretty different. For example, Riolu is a Pokemon that evolves during the daytime, while a raccoon is nocturnal. Raccoons are also omnivorous, while at most of Pokemon we've seen them eat berries in-game. Well, aside from that poor Meowth that got a CD shoved into its head so it can cut down one tree to take on Lieutenant Surge, but I digress. The one trait that Riolu and a raccoon do seem to share is their companionship. Scary, I know. Recent research suggests that raccoons engage in gender-specific social behavior. In other words, females stick together and males stick together. For example, the males, while unrelated, will stick together during mating season, also making sure they can fight off any potential invaders. For animals, typically depicted as rummaging through trash, that's actually kind of impressive. Oh, and that yellow collar thing? Riolu are very loyal Pokemon. So I think that's just a marking to symbolize something along the lines of a collar. As for Lucario, it definitely fits the Anubis model much more, as it has highly raised pointed ears along the lines of one's Anubis sports, as opposed to Riolu's little nubs. But don't worry, the comparisons don't stop there. You see, while Anubis is the gatekeeper to the afterlife, he doesn't do it based on popularity. Instead, he judges the person's soul, how moral they are, how righteous they are, etc., etc. This aligns with Lucario's ability of seeing aura, being able to properly judge those that are moral and just versus those that are, well, evil. Lucario will fight against those beings with a great force that will make them wish they had stayed dead. While Anubis may not do the similar, those with bad souls, or, according to mythology, souls heavier than a feather, will not be sent to the Shadow Realm, but instead to a different deity named Amit, who will devour the soul. Anyway, back to Lucario. Lucario's origins in Egypt continue beyond the gods. Shocking, I know. Lucario actually has a look similar to an Egyptian boxer. Well, as similar as you can get with being a blue dog Pokemon anyway. The body proportions are all quite similar, and the fact that it has a subtle kind of boxing glove in its palm being black, while the rest of its arm is blue, is quite a nice touch. Now, if you're like me, one of the things you would wonder about with both Riolu and Lucario are the appendages on its head. You know, those weird flappy things that look like they could hurt someone if picked up and used like a bat, but of course they're attached for heads so you can't. Anyway, with a little bit of research, it turns out that the flaps, along with the shape Lucario's face makes with the mask design, points to there being some bases with a shakara. A shakara, for those that don't know, is a staff that can also be used as a weapon, stemming from Buddhist religion. This staff is made from either wood or metal, which would tie quite nicely into Lucario's newly found steel typing from Riolu. The shakara staff is quite interesting. As while it could be used as a weapon, the reins on the staff are used as a warning for multiple things, including small living creatures such as insects to move out of the way, as well as for the sick to tell them a monk is nearby if they need help. That whole concept ties into what Lucario is quite nicely, is Lucario is a Pokemon that will go out of its way to protect its master and harm those that harm the master if absolutely necessary. Hell, and it's not like the stuff is absent from Pokemon itself either. Remember that Lucario in the Mystery of Mew movie? The staff carried by Sir Aaron is similar to a shakara, albeit with design and purpose flourishes. This staff is made out of both metal and wood, and while there are no rings on it, there are appendages on the side. The center is capable of trapping a Pokemon like a Pokeball, something that Shakara obviously isn't capable of, but hey, gotta fit in the franchise somehow, right? And with that, that's the end of part 1 of this Pokemon investigation. Did you learn something new about either Riolu or Lucario today? If so, let me know down in the comments. Part 2 is the part where we turn these Pokemon into Fire Emblem units, and I have a feeling that Lucario is going to be quite the interesting unit. Anyway, if you liked what you saw, consider leaving a like or subscribing. It'd greatly help. Also check out the Patreon as well as the Discord, plenty active in the Discord. Until next time, this is Joeypals, signing out.